Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
Hello there, podcast friends, and welcome into the second episode of Abaticola and Ferrari Discuss Everything. It is the AFDE podcast. We are presented by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub. They are located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. I'm Matt Abaticola. He's Jason Ferrari. And a big thank you for our first episode, the inaugural podcast. What do we have? Over 6,000 downloads in the first 5-6 days, whatever it was?
Let's see.
Where are we at there?
Oh, the World Wide Web is being slow.
Well, that's fine. But I know it was over 6,000. So thanks for everyone who tuned in and listened to our inaugural podcast. And we hope you stick around with us for the weeks, months, and years to come. Again, he's Ferrari. I'm Abaticola. And we're glad you're here with us for our second podcast. You can follow along with us on Twitter at AFDE Show. You can get us on Facebook at facebook.com/AFDE Show. And email the program at afdeshow@gmail.com. So how's your week been? It's been a week since our first show.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Anything exciting happened?
I feel like after what we described last week, like nothing that huge happened, where we were talking about like not being able to get couches in and stuff.
People dying, getting new jobs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
cars breaking down.
That was a marquee week, I think, for you more than me. But yeah, nothing. Oh, the only thing that actually happened of note is, so I think actually you were mocking me for saying that I got spinal surgery, but
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you totally would. But it's fine. But
you're still walking, so it's not like it's bad.
All this, like, I just woke up, and because of where it is, so if any of you guys out there have had spinal surgery, specifically like in the lower back area, you kind of naturally just favor it. Like, you try to avoid doing anything to it, and by doing that, it spasms like all the way up to like your shoulders. So I'll wake up.
Sounds terrible.
I'll wake up and just be like, it's basically like breathing hurts, and you don't know how to, you don't know how to, like, it's like, it's like one little thing. It's like one random thing that just got like tweaked. But because of having spinal surgery where they implanted something in my spine, I can't go to the chiropractor anymore because that would probably like paralyze me. Which
would be a bad thing.
Yeah, so now I just deal with it. But Matt actually brought me, what's it called?
Thermomax.
Yes, he brought me from his new gig, their back stuff. So I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's our topical ointment pain relief cream. If you have any kind of issues, you're sore from working out or dealing with a previous injury or surgery and whatnot, Thermomax, and it's a healthguardian.com. It's The Health Guardian is the company, and that is our pain relief product. I'm hoping it helps you out. I hope you like it, and it doesn't smell like medicine. That's the thing.
So
or
yeah,
like you use like BioFreeze or something. It smells like a doctor's office.
No, that's what we have to do. I like Trish, her neck was hurting, so I put some on her, and we had to like do that in the shower because I'm like, it's
what else was going on in the shower?
Nothing.
Oh.
Well, dude, if you're going to have sex anywhere, do not involve BioFreeze.
Oh, Thermomax?
Do not involve
the BioFreeze, right, because you get that in your eyeball and then some on your private parts.
You get that in so many things. Yeah, that's not good for anybody.
I wouldn't put that there, not with the BioFreeze on the end. Oh, thank you.
I mean, if for some reason we ever decide that we want to do like a video version of this so you could see us talking to each other in my den, maybe I'll just slather a bunch of that stuff all over myself.
I thought you were talking about you putting the BioFreeze on Trish.
Well,
the video version of it.
You know what? If it gets
in your shower,
if it gets the downloads,
right? If you can add a couple hundred downloads, why wouldn't you guys do that?
Couple hundred.
So you can email us afdeshow@gmail if you want to see Jason and Trish in the shower together with Jason putting BioFreeze on his wife.
Okay. Also,
let us know.
So we did receive some emails this week, but they were all just well, not just, but they were all just very complimentary. A lot of people saying that they missed hearing Matt's voice on the air, and we also received a lot of tweets that said that too. So obviously Matt appreciates it, but we appreciate it because we're glad that you're on board and you're with us. So keep them coming, and also any topic thoughts you have, bring them in, because I promise you we will put them on the show. We will definitely talk about whatever you guys want to hear.
Yesterday, I took the boys out for a train ride. I asked them what they wanted to do, and Hank said, I want to take a train ride, so we'll take the Metro and either go to Lake Forest, which is the one stop away from Libertyville. It's like a 10-minute ride, or we go to Deerfield, which is like a 15 or 16-minute ride. Lake Forest, we get off, and there's a McDonald's right there, and then we'll have lunch, get back on the train. They just like, going for the ride. So yesterday, we went to Deerfield. And we get off, and there's a couple big parks. There's a huge park district with fields, baseball and soccer fields, and softball fields. And then there's a couple different parks that kids like to go to. And then
with those giant slides.
The giant slides.
Yeah.
And Hank's like, that's not a big slide. I'm like, it's a huge slide.
It sounds like him saying, this is my mean face.
Right. Right, with a big smile.
Yeah.
So then we went and did lunch, too, afterwards. But what I forgot was yesterday was it's Lollapalooza weekend, which means the train, and we took the 11:10 train, which would be, time to get to Deerfield around 11:30, and then, have a little bit of playtime at the playground and the park, and then go for some lunch, and then get back on the train at like 1:26, like perfect timing.
I'm sure it was a clown show.
So that 11:10 train leaving Libertyville going downtown was an absolute clown show of just teenagers going to Lollapalooza. And I don't know if I'm just if this is just something like middle-aged men do or say or feel, because maybe when I was a teenager, middle-aged men felt the same about like teenage girls that were my age. But I could not believe the way they were dressed.
This is going in an awkward way.
Well, no, I couldn't believe they were the way they were dressed.
Yeah.
I would see one girl after the other at the train station. I was like, okay, if that was my teenage daughter, she would not be leaving the house wearing that.
No.
I would see another one. I go, if that one girl actually was wearing a lace, like one-piece teddy, that was like a V-neck cut, so it was V-neck cut all the way down to like
navel,
her navel.
So like a Boratish
thing, but
okay.
it covered her boobs,
okay,
just enough, and she had a pair of jean shorts on over those that were like really low riding, so you could see that the one-piece teddy she was wearing was a thong.
Yeah.
So you saw enough of the top of her butt cheeks to know that she was wearing, and I was just like, what in God's name is like. Is that okay to wear out in public? First of all, it's something that like a grown woman should be wearing, not a teenage girl. And then you're wearing it out to a concert venue. It
is funny though that you mentioned the age thing, because Matt sent me a text saying like I've seen more butt cheeks than I ever need to see, and the old guy on the receiving end of a text was like, yeah, I'm sure that was the case. Neither of us are like dirtbags who like graduated to just like almost get off my lawn.
Well, no, it's
like,
not even,
get off my lawn.
I'm like, okay, why do you have to wear shorts that show like half of your butt?
I don't know.
Like, what's the point of that?
I kind of stopped going to Lollapalooza because as soon as they incorporated the electronic portion with the DJs, that changed the age group. So I used to go, and it used to be people in their 20s, 30s, 40s who would come and see their favorite bands, party, have a great time. Then it became just drunk, yelling kids, and they were always on public transit. And it was so freaking annoying.
Yeah, last time I went, I don't even remember how long ago it was. It was a while ago, and I went into one of the big tent things, and there was a...
That's the peripheral tent. That's the DJ tent.
Okay, that's exactly what it was. Yep. And so it was dudes like wearing like helmets and stuff, and they were DJing, and it was electronic. Yeah.
It's kind of like...
well, first of all, it was the middle of the day.
Yeah,
except
exactly.
when you walk into this tent, it felt it was like 2 a.m.
To be like, bro, it's Thursday at like 6 p.m. You guys need to dial it down a notch.
It was like Saturday at like 11:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's like, what is going on?
11:30. Whenever I wake up, I just want to have a nice brunch,
right.
And then I just want to go like put my head in between two speakers and just listen to wine noises.
I want to go to electronic music at 11 in the morning. So I was maybe 20 minutes tops, and I was like, hey, I'm out. Gotta go.
No,
I got
terrible
tickets through. It was either, I think it must have been XRT. I got tickets through for the day, and I felt bad because I was literally there for 20 minutes, and I'm like, we
didn't leave the whole festival, just a different area, right?
Oh no, I left the whole festival.
You left the whole festival?
Oh no, I was done.
Usually they have like people that are like bands that are actually good for
ruined
us
me.
old folk.
Yeah, that ruined me.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's
Well,
what
clearly
I got.
you have a lot of patience for concerts based on your story from last week where you drive like an hour and a half to sit in line for 3 hours to get in to eat a beef sandwich and then
leave.
go back to Lyle.
Yeah. Which I could tell you, as I said in episode 1, that I could count the number of concerts I've been to on both hands. So it's like, that's just not my thing. And then to hear that, and for that to be the start of my Lollapalooza day, I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Also, but it's not like you went there after work. The start of your Lollapalooza day was the start of Lollapalooza, which was at like noon.
Right. So then I went to a dive bar and just sat there instead, and that was much more enjoyable, and played the jukebox.
Did you go to the Irish the place on right off the Brown Line?
Yes.
That you would always go to? Well,
yes.
Hidden something Shamrock? The Shamrock?
Yeah, Shamrock.
Okay, got it.
Shamrock.
Got
it. But it just called it The Rock.
Nope. I like it. I like that place a lot because you'd walk in and they knew Matt, and so I wouldn't pay a lot for my anything.
Yeah, no, I sat there and then just played the jukebox.
Yep.
Listen to that. That was much better than the electronic DJs. So we're on the train, and it was, the dudes want to get up and run around the train because normally when we take the train, it's empty. It's not full like at that time on a weekend.
And at 3 and 5, they are the most mature people on the train.
They were, and so the train was completely packed. People standing in the middle, and that was only the Libertyville stop, and you have all those other stops to make.
Oh God!
Going in.
After. Can you imagine
I would
what
hope
happens
that
at Arlington Heights?
Well, I would hope that they would express at some
that's a
point
different
and
train line,
not make all the stops. But even when we got off at Deerfield, which is 2 stops away, there was still, there was at least 100 or 200 teenagers still getting on a train that was already packed. But the only good thing about those days, and when you have what was it, the Blackhawks parades and the Cubs parade, those trains were so packed.
You want to celebrate with those people, though.
Yeah,
that's a different reason.
No, not really. You don't need that packed on public transportation,
especially
at any
the
point,
metro,
and for any reason. It's just not good.
Because somehow, whenever that happens, the climate control systems don't seem to work.
But you're always guaranteed of never having your ticket checked on those days as well. Because conductors
totally
are just
true.
like,
I know,
like conductors pretend to make the effort, but they're not like, they open the doors, they're like, tickets. And then they turn around and have to do something real quick, and then you're at the next stop.
You never
and
see
you
them
never
again.
see them again,
Yeah.
right?
No, when Trish and I were dating long distance, and instead of having to do the drive from Madison to Chicago, I would go to Harvard, Illinois, and then
Because you guys met online, right?
take the train in. Totally a church
online?
group. All right, sorry. Anybody who knows me understands why I'm hysterically laughing, but. No, but so I would do that, and then she would either get the text of "Thank God it's empty," because I would always want to read whatever book I was reading, or "Oh no," like something would be happening in the city, and then people would come on and just sit right next to me and just start crushing like tall boys and yelling and awful, just awful. I don't know. So we used to do this. Just reminds me of something. So back before I lived in the city. And back when I thought the taste of Chicago was something that I actually wanted to be anywhere near, friends and I, we would get on at Downers Grove Main Street. We would bring a cooler of like Coors Lights. We would drink on the train. We'd bring the cooler there. We'd go back. But we weren't like screaming and yelling. It was like our group of friends just sitting in like a cluster of seats.
And now a couple of beers.
Yeah. And obviously at least one of us was wearing jean shorts and a Borat thong. It's just what you do. But yeah, so... But yeah, I think times have changed. That digital music is real, and phones are messing up people's brains.
I just didn't quite get why the teenage girls have to dress like that. Didn't get it to enjoy the day. And then I think 80% of the dudes I saw yesterday, and you're talking, younger fellas, wearing basketball jerseys. So I don't know if that's a thing for Lollapalooza, but I don't see many younger kids out and about on a regular daily basis, whether it's going to the store or just seeing kids around.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see a ton of basketball jerseys, but that was like a huge thing.
I don't think I've seen a large amount of basketball jerseys in society other than like when the Bulls were dominating and boy bands. I used to really love jerseys, but otherwise that's kind of it.
Yeah, I saw a lot yesterday, and no Bulls jerseys though. That was the thing. It was all other.
No, of course not.
Other teams.
It's like arbitrary shit. Like back in the day where you'd go out and people were wearing like Redskins hats. They just loved starter, and people would have starter collections. I'm like, I'm sorry, have you ever watched a Redskins game?
No, you just like the clothes.
Just I like maroon.
I had the Bears, the navy blue satin starter jacket. I think that might have been the only starter stuff I had as a kid.
I had, there weren't any starter Chicago. I don't think they ever did that because it was Nike. So
I had a Bears jacket.
Well, no. I mean, like that was early, but basketball, I don't recall ever. Like all of my Bulls hats were new era.
The best thing too about like the starter jackets, those satin ones, they weren't warm.
Oh no!
But like parents bought those as like kids' winter jackets.
Picture.
But they weren't
I think
warm.
everybody understands satin,
right.
So it's basically like you're wearing like a dirtbag porno director robe, right. Like with some elastic wrist sleeves that says "Bears" on the back.
Right, and there was always elastic around the waist too, so it always right up on you. So it ended up being like a half jacket.
I was always thinking like, whose torso was this designed for?
Why are you wearing a crop jacket
exactly
in the winter?
I don't know. Man, literally, you would just stand from a sitting to standing position. It's just bare midriff with.
It's a crop jacket,
and the material basically was like wristbands were sewn on, and then like a giant headband was the waist.
That's what it was. It was really wide headband. This should keep it in place. Yeah, around my nipples. So thank you for that.
No, if they made, you know what though, I would wear this. If they made like longer robe versions, or like smoking jacket versions, where they're just long and still have the elastic, I would at least wear it around the house.
We could do that. We could do sports teams like satin robes.
Yeah, smoky jacket.
His and hers.
Yeah, get half on board,
and it comes with a big tube of Thermomax. You can put it all over your lover in the shower.
Yeah. And then put the robe over it, so it just keeps the Thermomax in.
Again, that's the Health Guardian. Go to healthguardian.com.
Oh my God! I almost did
You did. You almost spit that delicious red wine all over your carpet.
The first legit AFDE show spit take.
I like that you're drinking wine in the middle of the afternoon.
Dude, I'm Italian. When is my time supposed to start?
You're like a 40-year-old woman on a Sunday here.
I'm not drinking Zinfandel.
You should. We already got into that last episode.
No, Zinfandel, and if you'll excuse me, I need to light up like one of the, like, what are the thin ones? A Virginia Slim.
Virginia Slim. But with a cigarette holder.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 feet long coming out of your mouth.
But then I feel like I should be wearing one of those smoking jackets because I'd be like the old-timey guy.
Right.
Okay, anyway.
Well, we survived our train ride with all the degenerates, the teenage degenerates.
So that's the episode.
Dressed.
That's the whole episode
so
right
that's
there.
it. I get home and we made dinner later that night. We did hot dogs for dinner last night. Good old-fashioned hot dog dinner, chips and pickle. And Hank, I never put a pickle. I get the pickle spears for Jack. Jack loves pickles.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to put the chips on a hot dog.
No, but he'll eat the pickle spears.
Oh, yeah.
And he loves them, and he'll eat like
dill,
he'll eat 2 or 3. And I don't ever give one to Hank, and because he doesn't eat pickles. Except yesterday, he was like, "Oh, Dad, I want a pickle." I'm like, "All right." So I gave him a pickle, put it on his plate, and it was so funny. But I didn't want him to see me laughing, but because he was eating it
like corn
on the cob.
Okay, the way your hands were, it's like
So he was holding it on the ends and eating it like corn on the cob, and I've never seen a kid eat a pickle spear like corn on the cob. And I was like, but if he'd have seen me laughing though, he would have stopped eating it.
Oh yeah, no,
so
it's
like I walked into the kitchen just to get away. And
it's like
so
Jack's
funny.
version of Big eating like the mini corn cob.
It was great,
dude. Your kids are hilarious, man. What did we? He sent me a picture yesterday of the two of them eating froyo. Dude, I love.
Was that Friday night? Yeah, Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. We went and got frozen yogurt.
I don't know.
Hank wanted frozen yogurt, so we go and Jack was like, "I don't want frozen yogurt," and he's like stomping his foot and he's all mad.
Then I get a picture of him with like a sprinkle on his chin.
It sprinkles all over his chin. But it was so good. So we go to the froyo right in town. We can walk right there. And when I've let them do the yogurt in the past, like I give them their cups, and then I hold the cup and they pull the handle because they like to pull the handles for the yogurt. And then I let them put the toppings on, and just for like their 2 cups of frozen yogurt, it's like $18.
That was so. I thought that Matt sent me the picture before he did the post on Instagram of just the kids because I just love pictures of the boys. They're cute and I'm like, fringe uncle.
Well, your Uncle Jason.
yeah, basically.
But Daddy, what are you doing today? Oh, I'm going to Uncle Jason's house. Are you going to have lunch at Uncle Jason's house?
I know that. Their questions are just
I don't
the
know.
best.
What are you going to do? I'm like, well, we're going to do our radio show. What are you going to do after Uncle Jason's house? Well, I'm going to go home. What are you going to do at home? I'm going to have dinner and I'm going to do some work. What are you going to do after you do some work? Well, I'm going to go to bed. What are you going to do after you go to bed? I'm going to wake
Sleep.
up. What are you going to do after you wake up? It's okay.
Yeah.
So we had the frozen yogurt. And
but yeah, I just love that. So Matt, I was like, all right, this post can't get any better. And then he added, eating frozen yogurt with these 2 dudes, When they make it, it's $18. When Dad makes it, it's $5.
Yeah,
I just thought that was so funny.
I'm like, let me do it this time, fellas, because last time we went, for the two of them, was $18. I normally do theirs, and then I'll pay, and then I'll sit them down so they can start eating, and then I'll go make my own. Because I'm a sucker for the cake batter flavored frozen yogurt, which is great.
Ooh, it sounds good.
So I make theirs, and then I put the toppings. I'm like, what do you guys want? And they get to pick out whatever they want, and I put it all in, go to ring it up, and it was under $6. I'm like, all right, how is it 3 times more? I'm like, oh, I know why. Because then I end up eating yours and mine, and then that's why I feel disgusting afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's a lot.
So we made them, and it was great yesterday, or Friday when I did it, because Hank ate his entire thing. Jack ate most of his. It was almost all gone. I'm like, okay, this is how we're going to do it from now on, fellas. Dad's going to make them from now on. That's what I said.
Also, Matt and I were talking about this before the show, but I've seen a lot of... so I did a Facebook post yesterday that just jokingly, but says, does anyone see so many pictures of people's kids that they start to forget what their parents look like? My feed has just been inundated with just kids, which is great. I love it. I love the kids. They're just great kids. But I'm like, man, do you guys ever take a photo? Does anyone ever take a photo of like the people I know, like my friends?
You know what? I've always wanted to do it, and I did it for a little stretch of time. I would, instead of just take pictures of the dudes, we would do selfies together.
Right,
so
at least you're in it.
So I'd be in it.
Yeah,
I always want to be in it. And then I forget, because, well, first of all, it's hard to take a picture with Jack because Jack refuses to look at the camera.
Oh no, he always refuses. He's always either, well, okay, so he's facing the camera, so he's looking up and right, or when he does do it, he looks like I'm gonna stab you in the face after this photo.
Never looks, and then I have to take at least, and I'm not exaggerating, like 15 to 20 pictures, just to get one where he's looking at the camera. So, but it was weird for like a week. He was like great at it. He would smile big and say cheese. He'd look right at it. I'm like, all right, this is good. Now he's into taking pictures. And then that went away, and it was the same thing. So I'm trying to get those frozen yogurt pictures Friday, and I'm snapping, one after the other of Jack, trying to make sure he's actually looking at the camera. But yeah, it was a fun weekend with the dudes. We got new Cars toys. The Cars 3. I took them to see Cars 3 when it came out. There's a
third.
Yeah, third one came out a couple months ago.
I can't say I've seen the first.
Actually, when did we go? We went, on Father's Day. We went and saw the movie. The three of us were hanging out, and that was one of the things they wanted to do. So we went to Cars, and there's the Liberty Theaters right in downtown Libertyville. I can walk from my place.
Right by Mickey Finn's?
Yeah, it's close to Mickey Finn's, but it's actually close to my apartment. So we go there, and it's old school. So first shows of the day are $6.
Cheap. It's
every other show is $8.
The theater that would get the shows later.
No, it's current movies.
Oh, but it's still cheap.
It's an old school theater.
Like the matinee.
Yes.
The matinee pricing. Okay.
No, but even like if you go at 9:00 at night, it's $8. The first show of the day is $6. Yeah, but it's not. They're not comfortable seats. Yeah. It's not the nice atmosphere.
But whatever.
But it's
you get
perfect
to see the movie.
See a movie,
That's really
right?
all I'm going there.
And
for.
maybe the screen isn't as big as other theaters, and maybe the sound isn't as good. But you're taking a 4 and a 3-year-old to go see Cars 3. It's ideal. They got the kids box where they get a drink and they get popcorn.
Visually and audibly stimulating to sub 5-year-olds.
Right. So we go to see the movie and we're watching Cars 3. And Jack's super excited. And dude is great at movies. Like you give him his box of treats, he does not move, does not need to go to the bathroom. He's into the movie. Hank, like 5 minutes into Cars 3, Dad, is this over yet? Now there's maybe 15
You're clearly
people
seeing a theme with Hank's patience.
Oh, yeah.
As you told me the driving stories where...
when we're on the high speed, which is the highway.
It's so good. High speed?
Yeah, the high speed.
Internet. But...
Yeah, like, Dad, do we have to go on the high speed to get there? Yes, we do. Okay. Every exit sign. Dad, is this our sign? Dad, is this our sign? And I'll be like, no, Hank, but when it is, I'll let you know so you can stop asking. Dad, is this our sign? And if you've driven on the highways in Chicago, which I assume many of you have.
Lots of signs.
Listening, there are signs, it seems like every 15 seconds. So you have a 4-year-old, Dad, is this our sign? No, it's not our sign. I'll tell you when it's our sign, so stop asking. Dad, is this our sign? Like, my sentence, like the words are still drifting in the air. And he's like, Dad, is this our sign? Dad, is this our sign? And now he's actually got Jack doing it. So we went to see my brother Dan in Westmont a couple weekends ago. They were both doing it the entire way from 294, Libertyville 294, all the way to like Ogden Avenue 294. So you know how far that is.
Yes,
Dad, is this our sign? Dad, is this our sign? Dad, is this our sign? Like, oh, good grief. So we're in Cars 3, and it's like, Dad, is the movie almost over yet?
But he's top volume?
Top volume.
Oh, God.
Like,
people had to be laughing.
No one said anything. But I dare you to say something about a 4-year-old. I'd be like, come on.
No, but not like angrily.
But I would dare
I
someone
would
to.
be. I would
Yeah.
be. I'd be laughing if that. I think it's hilarious.
So I'm like,
even knowing him, but if I didn't know him, it's still funny.
I'm like, no, it's not almost over yet, Hank. We still got more movie to go, and then I have to go potty. Dad, I gotta go pee. Like, all right. Like and then it was like, all right, Jack, we have to go to the bathroom. Well, I don't have to go, but it doesn't matter, Jack. You can't sit
Yeah,
here
I was
alone.
gonna say it's-
Well, no, I don't. But I don't have to go. Jack, it doesn't matter. You can't stay here by yourself. You have to come with us. I don't want to go to the bathroom. Dad, I have to pee. I don't want to go to the bathroom. Dad, I have to pee. I'm like, ugh. So Cars 3 was a big hit, though.
It's one of the greatest moving on segues I've ever heard.
It was like the only time I wish that the Liberty Theater had a bar so I could get something to, like, hey, you guys have Jameson, please? Can I get a shot of whiskey? Something. Can I, I need a growler from Mickey Finn's when I go to the movie now. Can I fit a growler in my satin starter jacket? Would that work?
Well, yeah. Have you seen those? They have like the fake gut ones, the boob ones, like ponytail ones. They're all like those. What do you call it? The backpacks that have like the.
Oh yeah. A straw.
Oh, I know what a straw is. I was
tube?
just trying to think of the brand. There's a specific brand that does that, where you can wear a backpack, you can fill it with water, and then you've got like the two things,
seriously?
like so you can get water.
So they
have booze.
They have
versions
gut one
of it.
and boob ones.
Yes, like so you can
So
roll in
you're-
with just like a pot belly full of wine.
Yeah, and so if you're one of the if you're a heavier set listener right now, you could do the boobs and the beer belly.
Yeah, man. You just roll in there like fat bastard,
Right.
and just crush wine. It's awesome. Oh man, what a perfect what a perfect tease for segment 4.
Did take it for Cars 3 name, please? Fat bastard. Okay.
But you got to make yourself like a doctor or a lawyer. So it's got to be
Dr.
like
Fat
No,
Bastard?
it's got to be like fat bastard, comma Esquire.
When I was young, I always thought that meant like escort, like a fancy way of saying escort.
I had to. Well, the funny thing is, when I first heard it, and I didn't understand
Not
it,
that I would know what
was
escort was as a kid,
was
but-
grounded a lot. So I used to, when I was grounded,
Go figure.
they would take all my all my
All your
electronics
porn
away.
sites away.
Porn sites. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have
that's
porn
right.
sites.
Magazines.
I had like Nintendo.
Yeah.
They were taking away my pornographic games on Nintendo. So they were like,
Zelda
they were
gets
like
it. 2D,
and then they would start as like a hockey game, and then all of a
Zelda
sudden it'd be
4,
like, it'd be
Zelda
like
gets it.
square nipples. No, but so I would be, all I would have in my room was books. So I would start reading
Mario Brothers Bang
reading
Bus.
the dictionary. Oh God, Mario Brothers Bang Bus. Oh Jesus!
Woo!
Oh God! Oh yeah, Luigi! Woo! What are you doing? Put it away! No, so
Hey, princess, need a ride on our bang bus?
but I would read the dictionary all the time.
Easy.
So I started learning like just random words.
You would read the dictionary.
Yeah, and then I would read the encyclopedia, but I did it in like alphabetical order.
You're the kid.
So just know like all that random shit. But I was like, what the hell is? You know what made me actually look it up? And I just watched this the other day. Bill and Ted's. So I watched Bill and Ted's because remember he's like, what is it? Ted Theodore Logan and Bill S. Preston Esquire. So I'm like, what the hell does that mean? The definition in the dictionary wasn't good enough, so I went to the library and then figured out that it meant lawyer.
Oh.
So yeah, I feel like that's extra effort to understand a Bill and Ted's reference. So
And
that
would have
makes me
never
a scholar.
happened, yeah, unless you were in timeout.
Oh yeah, I was grounded, but
you'd
if
be
I was grounded,
punished.
I was still allowed to go to the library.
All right, we're going to take a brief time out here in the Batacola and Ferrari Discuss Everything podcast. We are brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's first brew pub. They are located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. Follow them on Twitter at Mickey Finn's. Get out there, have some good food and some delicious beer. We're going to talk a little bit about movies coming up next, right here. Batacola, Ferrari Discuss Everything.
Well, hello. Pointed to your boobies.
And we're back. This is the Batacola Ferrari Discuss Everything podcast, episode number 2. We are presented by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's original brew pub. Great food, great beer. Located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. You can connect with them on Facebook at facebook.com/Mickey Finn's Brewery, and I suggest that you do that. Looking forward to recording some of our podcast live right there at Mickey Finn's as well. We'll let you know those dates. You can come meet us, hang out, have some beers, and watch the show, because there's nothing more exciting in life than watching two guys record a radio show.
Sit at a table.
Right.
Yeah, I mean we're handsome, so at the very
Yeah.
least you get that.
Right. And I think we're eventually gonna make the show available on video. I think we should just have a video camera in here.
Yeah.
with our own exclusive
I mean,
YouTube
you actually
channel.
need to watch, Matt and I refilling our drinks and probably ball scratching and whatever not. Like
Each
whatever.
other.
Yeah, exactly. So we've totally agreed contractually that if we have ball itch,
An itch.
we scratch each other's.
Yep.
So you're welcome.
Instead of backs, we do balls.
As everything in here, you're welcome, ? You're welcome.
Who typed question mark? You know, Burgundy will read anything on the screen. Speaking of
Go
Anchorman
fuck yourself,
and
San
Ron
Diego.
Burgundy, movies. Wanted to talk to you about movies because you actually brought up a very interesting topic in our conversation this week about movies. I had a movie angle I want to get into. We will, but I liked what you asked me about movies.
Well, so I think us and our listeners, and obviously we're getting to know you guys, but I think we have a fair assumption based on Matt's score history and stuff. But welcome to anyone who doesn't know Matt from the score, which is awesome. But so like Matt, it's very easy for us to just do a show rundown, and we could easily put movies, and then just talk about, like Matt earlier talked about Cars 3. We could talk about any movies we like, anything. We can go anywhere with it. But what interested me was, I hope you guys can all relate to movies that end up playing on like major TV networks, like guilty pleasure movies that you own or that you clearly have access to, but they play on TV and you still watch them in their entirety. So like TBS, TNT, USA, Sundance, A&E, AMC, like any of those stations, like you watch those movies and you own them. But because they're such good long movies, they last like 6-7 hours and you still will sit down and watch them. So that's what we're getting into now.
So anything like on a regular like channel, a regular network, not a premium like cable channel, but like a regular cable channel, movies that you know by heart, as Jason even said, movies that you might own the DVDs, and yet you see them
or the VHS,
or you see them on regular TV, and yet you still watch them even with the commercials. That's how much you love them. You could easily pull your DVD out, put it in, and play it, but yet you sit there and you watch it, and not.
I feel like that requires like couch
There's
movement.
too much work.
So if you're
Yeah,
already
that's
on the
too
couch, like
hard.
you don't want
Right.
to go find the DVD, which is generally
hard.
like in a shelf next to the TV.
Too hard. But so, and this isn't even like the guilty pleasure movies, which are bad movies that you like watching.
yeah.
These are the great movies that you love watching and are proud to say you watch.
Classics.
So like classics.
The guilty
on-
pleasure
on-
ones, you're like, wow, this is kind of stinky,
We'll
but
get
I'm
in-
going to
we'll-
watch it.
We'll get into that in a second. But movies that are on like regular cable channels right now that you watch, even though you might own them or you've seen them, you'll still sit through the commercials to watch. For example, you mentioned a couple earlier. Shawshank Redemption is one of them, and I think that's a classic for.
Wait,
for
I don't think I
guys.
mentioned it on the show, though.
No,
I
not
think I
on the show,
mentioned it to
in
you.
our
Okay, yeah.
conversation.
I was going to say, people, sorry.
Yeah, but that's like a classic. Like guys in our age, a little younger, a little older, you see Shawshank on, you're going to watch it regardless of where it is in the movie, regardless of the day, regardless of the time of the day.
You see it.
You sit and you watch
You
it.
open up, you hit guide
Right.
on the remote. Shawshank.
You're in.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking about, shit, what do I have to do for like the next 4 hours? Nothing.
Nothing
Perfect.
because I'm watching this.
Yeah, exactly.
But even so, even if it's like the final segment of the show,
Oh, dude.
you sit there and watch it. Dude, you could be getting ready to go to a friend's wedding, have your suit on, get your shoes on, the TV's on, and you see, oh, Shawshank's on for 5 more minutes.
And just watch him coming up to him on the boat on the beach, and just be
Right.
like, yes. It's
Just
like
sit
you.
there.
It's like you just sat through the whole movie.
Right, you could have
Yeah.
your significant other, your family at the door waiting to leave, and you'd be like, "Yeah, hang on a second, Red's right here. He's meeting them, so
Yeah.
we got to wait. Hang
Hold
on
on,
a second.
hold on.
Get my shoes
Morgan Freeman is literally saying anything,
Right.
which is a
Right.
completely different topic. But yeah, I'm sorry, Morgan. Can you just be like, I love to motorboat,
All
but
right,
in your
so
voice?
Shawshank is one. For me, other ones that I'll watch regardless of where I'm at, what I'm doing. The Rock is one.
Yeah.
U.S. Marshals
Yeah.
is one.
Or The Fugitive.
Oh, absolutely, The Fugitive.
But
oh,
you
for
notice,
sure,
like, The Fugitive is
on AMC.
No, but The
all
Fugitive
time.
is so good, but they always play U.S. Marshals more. And,
Right.
in all honesty, hey, I love me some Wesley Snipes, but I prefer Harrison Ford.
Of course. You find that man, that one-armed man.
Yeah, but no, yep. Let me think. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is in a category all
Which
by
we
itself,
might
first of
actually
all.
do a whole episode on the amazingness of Forrest Gump. But yeah, Shawshank. Oh God, you know what? I didn't even think of The Rock. The Rock is totally one of
Love
them.
The Rock. And that's one that gets me. I see it on, I watch it.
You ever notice that like they're not? It's never comedies. It really isn't.
No,
like,
it's all action movies for
it's always
guys.
yeah, man. It's always like the
Or prison movies for men.
Yeah, but like The Matrix, like that'll play in. I
Yeah.
own it, and like, yeah, why wouldn't I watch this on AMC with commercials?
Right.
These are all damn it, sorry. These are all 3-hour movies that end up lasting 7 hours on television,
So-
and you're still like, I'm good. It's like a full day's work.
Here's what I did. I went through on demand. So the movies that are currently playing like on TNT and TBS, there are more than these than what are available on demand through Xfinity. But this was TBS. So these are the movies that are currently available on demand on TBS.
And TBS and TNT are the same company, right?
Yeah.
Turner Broadcasting, but it's something else.
Yeah.
Aren't they the same thing?
Turner Broadcasting and Turner Network.
Network Television.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so here's TBS. Now, I'm not saying these are good movies or movies I would
No,
watch.
it doesn't
These are
matter.
Currently, what's available.
These are in like full rotation.
So you can you can say, I'll read them. You just say yes or no. That this would suck you in.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say yes to yes. I've definitely done it. I've definitely done it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll read them. You
Or
just
if
say,
it's new, I'm doing it.
yeah. You
Okay.
say yes or no.
Got it.
She's the Man.
I don't know what that is.
I hope you say no. I think maybe a dude that plays on a girls' basketball team. Does that sound familiar to you? I didn't look these up. If I didn't know them, I just wrote down what they were.
I don't know that one.
I'll Google it in a second.
Okay.
On the Google machines. Bedtime Stories. It's some Disney thing.
I don't know what that is.
Entourage is currently available on TBS.
The movie?
Yes.
I guess, but no. You know what? That might be the one where because I watched the whole series.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, because I need to see the nudity and the swearing.
That was my only thought.
Yeah.
It's just the quality of it's not the
No.
same on
No.
TBS. Okay.
No.
Here's one that I know you will watch. Invincible.
Oh,
Mark Wahlberg.
every
Eagles.
time.
Yes, okay.
Every time.
I knew that right away.
FX,
Soon as I wrote it
it's
down,
always
I'm
on
like, that's
FX
you.
too,
Yes.
which is something I forgot to mention.
Always on FX.
Or FX 2 or FX Now, like
or
they seem to.
FXX.
Yeah. No, I will. Anything with football, you know for a fact
I
I'll
knew
watch.
for sure.
Yeah.
Into the Woods.
I don't know that one.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Definitely don't know that
Okay.
one.
Admission. That's the Tina Fey, Paul Rudd movie.
I've never seen it. No, I have. I've only watched it once, so I've never done it on the Guilty Pleasure TV.
I like it, but I don't think it's something that would stop me and make me watch.
No.
Wanderlust. Never saw.
Only
it.
watched it once.
Yeah.
Never. No, that wouldn't be one.
Here's one I don't know. Twins.
I would definitely do it.
Okay, I wouldn't. I didn't like it.
Well, it's just the
That's the
concept.
Schwarzenegger DeVito thing,
but the
right?
concept is guilty pleasures. So yeah, I would do it. Also, I have my younger brothers are twins.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. That probably like some sick parallel, but yeah, I would watch it.
All right, A Walk to Remember.
I don't know what that is.
Yep. Lord of the Rings, the first one.
I've done
currently available.
no, but do you ever notice they don't play one? Whenever TNT does it,
They do all three?
They play 3.
Okay.
And that's like okay, so that would be, and I have done this with my best man at my wedding, Brian Dvorak. We have done not only watching all of the DVDs with like the extra shit, so that we're talking like 15 hours of content,
Like straight through all like together?
We've had.
Is this when you didn't like girls?
Well, I don't know. Girls didn't like me then.
We were playing
we had
Dungeons and Dragons and watching Lord of the Rings.
No, I never did that. Well, no, never did that. Never did that because I was busy playing football. But no, so we had 3 food deliveries.
Oh, wow.
3.
Seriously?
It's 15 hours. 3 food
great.
deliveries.
That's
yes,
great.
so I have done that. And I'll join in during whichever episode. Like if it's 1, 2, 3, I'll join in.
All right, so this is still TBS. Wall Street, the original.
I would totally do
Yeah.
that. I don't see it very often on
it's on right
television cable, but I would do it.
U.S. Marshals, one we
Yeah,
mentioned,
yeah,
and then the last one available on TBS right now is Junior.
I saw that once. I actually don't even know if I got through it because it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
All right, here's the TNT movies available on demand. Yes or no? Tron.
Absolutely.
American
The new one. You're talking about not
No,
the
this is
old one.
the old one, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'll watch that anywhere.
American Gangster.
I probably would.
I would do
I
that.
don't see it a lot, though, but I would.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Never seen it. Is that the
Loved
Tom?
it. That's the Tom Cruise one and Emily Blunt.
Yeah, the hot chick that's
Fan-
married to the comedian guy.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah,
Great movie.
Okay, I will. It's on Netflix too, so I'll probably check it out.
Okay, now here's one that I never thought I wanted to see, watched on demand, and really enjoyed it. And it's our guy Charlie Hunnam, the guy from we were just talking about during our break here. We were talking about Sons of Anarchy, the blonde dude who was supposed to be 50
you
Shades of
said
Grey.
he's like royalty of some sort or something.
Well, there's a movie out on demand now, the King Arthur movie. But okay, so here's one called Pacific Rim.
Is that with Michael Keaton? No.
That's Charlie Hunnam, and it's like
what I just
giant
said is
robots.
Pacific Heights. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Pacific Rim. I've never seen it.
Really good. I enjoyed it actually.
Okay.
Divergent.
Never seen it.
Never saw
And
it
there's
either.
like 3 or 4 of
Yes,
them, right?
at least.
She's smoking hot, by the way.
Who's she?
Put me on the spot. I've had some wine. Don't know.
Google machine.
Smoking. She's smoking hot.
Great Gatsby. Still never saw it.
I watched it. All right.
I haven't seen it. I wouldn't.
We're going to do a brief sidebar. We'll move back in. So a buddy of mine, when I was doing the Nike stuff, like we talked about on our inaugural, he had like a really cool loft style apartment, but he had like a huge patio with like a cool showing wall, like in the patio. So he had a great Gatsby party. So the girls all showed up in like flapper dresses, and we all showed up in tuxedos, and then he played the movie on the wall.
That's pretty cool.
It's Rick Wayne.
Kinda.
At Rick Wayne, good buddy of mine. Smart kid, good kid, talented kid, does a lot of cool directing stuff. But anyway, so yeah, we had that party. So I actually, it's on Netflix, and no, it moved to Netflix. I think it might be on Hulu now.
Yeah.
I've watched it several times.
I've never seen it. Still haven't seen it. And the Divergent actress is Shailene Woodley.
Yes. Hot.
Google machine.
Super hot.
Here's one on TNT that I haven't seen and would never sit through. Medea Goes to Jail.
The amount of anger that I feel for the stupidity of those movies that I've never watched, and the fact that guy is a billionaire who owns islands still pisses me off.
Battle Los Angeles. I don't know what it is. Yeah. 3 Days to Kill. Yep.
Nope.
10,000 BC.
Nope.
Yep.
Wait,
I couldn't tell you.
Was that Mel Gibson? He did one of those.
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
no, that was... But similar concept, but he did something else. But something
he
like
did Braveheart.
No, and I know Braveheart, but later on, before
He was William Wallace.
No, but
He shot lightning bolts out of his ass.
before Hacksaw,
arse.
he did another movie that was of that nature.
Okay. Green Zone with Matt Damon, which I really enjoyed.
Okay.
The war in the Middle East. It's really. I thought it was pretty good.
No, he's
film.
good.
Yeah,
he's good. I don't know that movie though.
He's in the army, and he's like leads this group that goes out to look for weapons of mass destruction.
That's
turning the lights off?
That's the please.
Oh, is that? I'm telling you,
someone
need a service
bring me
bell.
a drink.
You need a service bell.
I know we don't have a bell here.
The Trish bell. Red.
I love my wife.
Red, the movie Red. Old assassins.
I
right?
know, but don't
Never
they
saw
have
it.
like multiple? And it's all like
two of
those.
them.
It's like hack actors though. Like didn't like the later ones bring in like Dolph Lundgren and shit? Like,
No, I think that. No, you're thinking of, or maybe not. I don't know.
I think it is.
Or is that
I think it's Red 2, Red.
the
I think there's
Untouchables?
like
Is that the Untouchables?
no, the Untouchables is about Al Capone.
No. Gosh, what am I thinking of then?
Invincibles.
No.
that's a cartoon.
No, Invincible is the Mark Wahlberg one we just mentioned.
No, with a plural, it's a different movie. The Invincibles are like the guys.
What's the one? Okay, the one. So it's got Bruce Willis and Dolph Lundgren and all the action actors all came together
It's
for
not
a
Red?
terrible. No, the Red is Red. I think Red might be Bruce Willis too. We could have a Google machine look it up. But if you're interested,
also,
TNT has
this
on
is-
demand
This
Red
is what
and
we
Red
call
2.
a podcast. So let's pretend we don't have producers. So
we don't.
we're not like Googling shit. Actually, Matt is currently Googling shit.
Well, I can look it up right here. So
whatever.
the cast for Red, is Bruce Willis, Helen Mirren,
Yes, that's the one. I'm
Mary
right.
Louise Parker,
so the
John Malkovich, Morgan Freeman.
But do the sequels. It's like Schwarzenegger, or he may not be in it, but like Dolph Lundgren, Van Damme, like all the hacks like from back in the day who like ran out of gigs are in these. I know they are.
No, I still think you're wrong.
Thanks, babe.
So
I love you.
The cast for Red 2, Bruce Willis, Helen Mirren, John Malkovich, Anthony Hopkins.
All right, you're right. Then it's got to be something else.
Yeah, no, I know what it is.
Actually,
It's,
just Google Dolph Lundgren because I'm pretty sure that's the way to get to it because he's not in something else. Like I was trying to think, I'm like, who's the most arbitrarily guy in the bunch, and that would be it.
The Expendables.
Okay, there you go.
That's what it is. And there's I think there's at least 3 of those.
Either
now.
way, sorry about that massive derailment.
Yeah, but
I've
anyway,
not seen
Red
any of
or
the
Red
Reds
2, yeah.
or any of the Expendables.
No desire to. TNT, though, does have Red and Red 2 if you want to watch them.
Okay, probably not.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
Any of them I'll watch.
Okay, I've seen one only. Anchorman's available right now, which, of course, is a definite yes.
I will watch every second of that anywhere I can find it.
Here's a movie and not a question. Why Did I Get Married? Never heard of it?
I think that's a Chris Rock one.
Okay.
I've seen it once.
American Sniper is on TNT right now. And I would sit through that, yes.
I have done it one time on AMC.
I've watched that at least half a dozen times.
Oh, no.
Man. So
but I
would
watched
do that.
I watched the full version, not the TV version.
Here's one that, I don't know, I'm on the fence about because this is definitely a guilty pleasure movie because I'm embarrassed to say I liked it because it was so terrible. Law Abiding Citizen.
I love that movie. Love
It's
it.
a terrible movie, though.
Love it.
What a terrible storyline. He breaks out of jail and kills people and just awful.
Absolutely love that
Although
movie.
I love him,
Yeah.
and it's Jamie Foxx, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Love Jamie Foxx.
Yep. I love that movie.
What's his name? Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
No,
fan of
I
his.
love that movie.
But it's a terrible premise, though.
Yeah, but they execute it well. I honestly, yeah, fine. Guilty pleasure. I love
Yes.
that movie.
All right. Speaking of guilty pleasures, here's what I wanted to bring up to you because this is why I wanted to bring it up because there's one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies of all time is running on cable right now. And the only reason it even jumped out at me is because it's been a month since my brother passed away. And, like, dude, I've never experienced grief or, like, a grieving process like this. And there are multiple times a day still, and I don't know how long it lasts for or whatever, where I'll get to a point of either being teary-eyed or, like, break down into crying, and it happens on a daily basis.
Dude, it's your brother, man. Yeah.
But there are different things that trigger those emotions. So, like, for example, I was driving in the car, and this makes sense. Driving in the car, and I'm on Spotify, and I got my phone hooked up, listening to Spotify, and I'm going through Toby Keith songs. And there's a Toby Keith song called I know. I
wasn't making a.
Well, no, he's a guilty pleasure musician.
No, but I wasn't. I'm sorry. So Matt was reacting to. I made like a stink face.
Yeah,
but it was more. I think, God, I need to work on my stink versus think face. I was thinking.
Oh, that was definitely a stink face.
No, but I was thinking because I was trying to think. Like I've listened to his music and I've never like gotten the heartfelt thing. It's always the guilty, like partying.
There's one.
Idiot,
Okay, so there's
trash thing.
There's a song he has out because he's written a lot of songs about America. You know, he's a big fan of America.
Oh, yeah. And your brother was a soldier.
And there's a song called American Soldier. And as I'm going through Spotify, just letting the songs play, that song came on as I'm driving, and I was broke down weeping as I'm driving. Just thought of Mark listening to that song. And it's happened where different things will trigger, but that makes sense because he was in the military for 7 years. And I don't know, just because like sometimes you get overcome with emotion, and I'll cry. I'm watching this stupid, awful movie that I love with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard. The Bodyguard is one of the worst movies ever made.
I think that movie's terrible.
It's absolutely terrible.
However,
I've seen it at least 36 times.
Based on let's focus.
No,
let's
serious.
focus on a couple of things.
Okay.
Let's focus on the fact that you love it. That's fine. I feel like the more pressing topic is the fact that you've 36 times.
Oh, at least,
not that you've watched it that many times, that you know the number. That is deeply upsetting. You're like, man, I have watched The Bodyguard 36 times.
At least, yeah, there's that time where that's a movie I'll jump into regardless of where I see
movie
it. And I'll watch it.
Awful.
It's terrible.
It's awful.
It's terrible.
Awful.
So at the very end, he saves her life.
Sucks at acting.
Yeah, he's
awful.
Yeah.
Hey, rest in peace. You sucked at acting. Both.
Well,
acting
she's a good singer
acting.
and she could party.
Oh, yeah.
So he
She
jumps
likes
in front of the bullets and he kills the guy with the crazy eye. And so at the very end, he goes to say goodbye to her, and she gets on the plane, and then the plane stops, and she gets out of the plane and runs out, and then they kiss on the. Yeah.
But it's an emotional moment. That's what's getting to you,
That's
not
what got
the
to me.
movie.
Right.
Well, no, but I can't say that because your clown ass has watched this movie 36 times.
I've never cried before at the end of Bodyguard.
Holy
so it was just
shit.
going through this grieving process. I'm like, that brought me to tears. But there's a scene in there. There's a party scene. Like they're in some big penthouse having a party, and he doesn't drink. He's drinking orange juice. He's at this party. And they picked like one of the ugliest actresses they could find with like terrible hair, and she walks across the room with the party. So it's a packed penthouse, shoulder to shoulder people.
Okay.
And she comes up to him and she goes, this is because I just love it. It's one of my favorite lines. She comes up to him and she goes, "I've been watching you all night from across the room." And he looks at her, looks her right in the eyes, and he goes, "Why don't you go back there and keep watching?" Just tells her. So I was thinking, all right, maybe if you would have picked a hot actress, maybe he takes her in one of the side rooms and he shows them, his samurai sword or something.
She grabs a bookshelf and takes it from somewhere.
Right.
No, but I honestly, I love when people encapsulate things in like a small way. So if you would have just given me that would probably have saved me having to watch that horrific movie. Just so I could watch that clip and like.
Well, you can Google that clip.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but I had to. Man, sorry,
It's like a Gong Show.
Yeah, I know.
Google that, you can Google that clip so you can see it because you can see how unattractive that woman is. And I'm sorry if you're listening right now, woman. But
just in general.
I apologize.
Wait, no, but again, you're welcome.
She could be one of our listeners who downloaded the show from Saudi Arabia. You never know.
We had 4.
Yeah,
I was gonna say we have a lot of
4 from Saudi Arabia.
Talking about the geographical
only
downloads
2
that we're
Italy.
getting. Yeah, I know. We're a little disappointed in the Italy downloads.
Only 2.
Yeah,
we need a better showing than that. All right, so other guilty pleasure movies for me. Any Matthew McConaughey rom-com.
I'll watch anything with him honestly.
Me too.
I'll watch anything with him.
Absolutely. But his rom-coms though are now listen. Okay, now I don't know if you know these movies as well as I do.
I bet I know all of them.
Okay. Think of the lead actress in the movie that he gets to be with in these movies.
Okay, I know, which is I think we can do Sandler too. He would do movies and be like, "What smoking hot girl can I just cast?"
Okay, Matthew McConaughey rom-coms, which I love.
Go for it.
The Wedding Planner.
Jennifer Lopez.
Babe. Failure to Launch.
Kate Hudson?
No.
Shit. Who is it?
Sarah Jessica Parker before she got like too New York skinny old looking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I before or after, still not my thing. But yeah.
The worst of the bunch.
Wait, is that the one with Terry Bradshaw in
yes.
it? Okay, fine. In
Ghosts of Girlfriends Past.
So many girls. The whole point was all the chicks.
No, but the main girl though is Jennifer Garner.
Oh yeah,
another babe. Fool's Gold.
Kate Hudson.
And of course, one of the all-time favorite and best rom-coms of all time, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Also Kate Hudson.
Yeah.
So one of those, I'm watching any one of those.
I know this isn't a rom-com, but Life to Kill. How hot is Ashley Judd?
A Time to Kill.
Time to Kill.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a smoke show.
Oh, that's
smoke show,
and a definite TNT, TBS, AMC movie where I'm watching wherever I'm at.
Annie Grisham. So yeah, let's add that. Annie Grisham, The Firm, any of those movies.
Which was on the other night.
Yes,
The Firm.
Any of those movies, we will watch them. Right?
Yes. Because is the Rainmaker the Matt Damon one Grisham? Yeah.
Yeah, with Claire Danes.
Yep.
Yes,
I'll watch that as well.
Actually, all those. So I don't know if it made this episode segments, but I'm just saying you'll see all the Grisham books in my bookcase, and if not, then Trish threw them out.
All right. And then one last thing I wanted to get into movie wise are the kids movies that. And we talked about one earlier before we were just sitting in the kitchen.
One of the multiple cars.
No, the movies that are made for kids that, as parents or adults, you enjoy more than the kids actually do. And this was again one where this morning we finished it, and I think I liked it more than the boys liked it, but they really enjoyed it. We watched Boss Baby.
Yep.
We started it last night.
So good.
Watched about 45 minutes of it, and then they had to go to bed. And we watched the final 45 minutes today. And it was a great movie, but again, something that got me teary-eyed because it's about 2 brothers. And at the very end, I'm going to ruin it for you. Boss Baby comes back as the baby brother. And
are you ruining it for the audience?
Ruining it for the audience.
For
no,
me.
Not for you.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah, you already seen it.
Yep.
So if I'm ruining this for you, spoiler alert, the baby comes back at the end and they end up being brothers for the rest of their lives, which is great. And that got me, I had to leave the room so the boys weren't be like, Daddy, why are you crying? Well, because I'm thinking about Uncle Mark.
Yeah. Brotherhood thing, but I'm going to tell you right now. So
Alec Baldwin, first of all, is fantastic in that.
What I really appreciated is all right. So I'm going to go backwards. I think that this Saturday Night Live season was very funny. Alec Baldwin played our current president. But if you haven't seen Boss Baby, I don't even care if you don't have kids. Download it, watch it. It's hysterical.
Yeah, it's easily something you can watch as an adult.
But I
kids.
think Matt and I were laughing so hard at it because the references are great. But in all honesty, he literally plays it like he's a baby version of Donald Trump without doing the Trump voice.
Yeah.
And so as you watch the whole thing, you're like, yep. It's one of the funniest. It's hilarious.
That's why I had to look up because I'm looking at the cast real quick because the voiceover work, I didn't know who Tim, who's the main character, the main kid character. He is. There's two voices for Tim when it's actually going on, and then like looking back on things as the adult version.
Baby and adult.
The adult version is Tobey Maguire.
I know.
I didn't know that.
So I have this.
But I knew the
skill.
voice, but I couldn't place it.
So my wife is like, "What? You're a freak." Because like as I'm sitting
I can
there,
always do that.
No, yeah. As I'm sitting
Commercials
too.
Yes.
I'll be like, yeah, I know that guy. Yep, know that guy. Yep, know that guy.
Right, that's so and so. That's so and so.
I got this. And I'll do it like quick too. Yep, right away. I'm like, is that Tobey Maguire? Like I didn't go in there researching it. So yeah.
Yeah, no. So
it's a hilarious movie though.
Alec Baldwin, Lisa Kudrow, Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Did you pick out the Buscemi's always easy to pick?
Yeah, he's very easy.
Right.
His voice is very
I picked
distinct.
out Kudrow right away.
Yeah,
and Trish has been watching Friends a lot, like
Yeah.
reruns of Friends. She goes, "Oh my God, you're right." Like,
She's the mom, and then Jimmy Kimmel's the dad. That's easy to tell. But Tobey Maguire was getting me off for a second there. I thought it might have been Josh Gad, who I'm really starting to enjoy. Josh Gad quite a bit. I think he's very funny.
So I went and saw the first Book of Mormon, like the first tour, and Gad was, before they changed it up, Gad was the guy.
Oh, really?
I've never laughed at anything more. I have never in my life laughed at anything more than Book of Mormon.
It's
ever.
Funny because we talk about Josh Gad, it brings a whole nother category of guilty pleasure movies for me. And I think they're all terrible, but I love them, and I love him. Is any Kevin Hart movie.
So I bet that got captured. Did
you
hear that? Yeah. So that was
your internal throat burp.
Some kind of an unintentional throat. Let's call it a thwirp.
Kevin Hart and Josh Gad did The Wedding Ringer.
I know, but I think he's funny, but like I have to be in the mood to watch his movies, so I don't. They're not guilty. I don't watch it, but I know. But I won't watch it on like TNT.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Like if I want to watch it, I'll watch it. Like Central Intelligence, hysterical.
Yeah,
that was Matt's recommendation. I watched it.
Oh yeah, with The Rock.
Hysterical. But I just don't. Yeah, that doesn't fall into my guilty pleasure list.
All right, so Boss Baby. The last 4 movies I've watched with the boys and absolutely loved, and I think liked more than them. Sing, which was fantastic as well. Trolls. And we watched Angry Birds again the other night. I love Angry Birds. Man, what a funny movie. Very, very funny. You've never seen it?
No. Only one of that group was Trolls, and I also watched that with Mallory, with Trish's daughter.
Yeah. No, Trolls is good.
I thought that was good.
Sing is really good. I think she would like that, too. I think that's really entertaining. And that's a Matthew McConaughey movie, too. He plays, he's the voiceover for the main character. And then Angry Birds is just great. I think it's just a really, really, really great movie. So, tell me some of your guilty pleasure movies that you absolutely love. You could tell us through email at afdeshow@gmail.com or get on Twitter and follow us on Twitter and comment there at afdeshow. Facebook.com/afdeshow. He's Ferrari. I'm Abaticola. This is the AFDE podcast brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's first brew pub, located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. Back after a refresher and a pee-pee break.
Cannonball!
It's the Abaticola and Ferrari Discuss Everything podcast. Follow us on Twitter at AFDE Show. This is episode number 2. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, thanks for all the downloads of our inaugural episode. We do appreciate that. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's original brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. Final segment here of episode 2. Hope you've enjoyed what you listened to so far. He's Jason Ferrari. I'm Matt Abaticola. And a few things to get into briefly in the world of sports. This news broke as we were getting into the studio today.
Yeah.
Former Bears quarterback Jay Cutler agrees to what I saw online, 1-year, $10 million deal with the Miami Dolphins to play quarterback after... now, it's not been officially announced that Ryan Tannehill is done for the year. I saw speculation and rumors about that. I
Well,
don't believe anything official is
I
out
feel like
yet.
this
but
signing ensures that.
So Jay Cutler is back in the NFL. I know a lot of people were excited to have Cutler in the broadcast booth, and I think for one of two reasons. Either people thought he would be really, really good at it, or people, and I think majority of people that I heard from wanted him on TV because they thought he'd be terrible at it, and wanted to see a guy that
I think
showed
he'd be good at
very little personality over his years of being a quarterback. But never heard anything bad from a majority of his teammates over the years, and normally when it comes to sports conversations, sports topics, sports arguments, I am very easygoing, very flexible because it's all opinion based. There's one thing here though that to me, if your opinion differs than mine on this topic, you are 100% wrong.
Wrong. I agree with
Jay
you.
Cutler was the best quarterback to ever wear a Bears jersey. Period. There's no disputing it. There's no arguing it. There's nothing you could say from an NFL standpoint to say that statement is incorrect because he is the best quarterback to ever play for the Bears and wrongfully pooped on over the years by dumb, uninformed fans, basically.
Right. But more like, God, go through the horrific laundry list. I mean, you did it actually right before Terry's last show. Matt did a show of his own. And when I sent him a text, I'm like, dude, here's the list. And then you responded by going through the list on air.
Yep.
Yeah, it was so much fun being like a remote producer. Like, hey, Matt, I'm not going to lie. This is going on. You should probably go into this. And he would do it. And my God, like the disgusting list of quarterbacks. And you know what? That's not a reflection of how bad the quarterbacks are. It's a reflection of the franchise investing in said quarterbacks. But if you really, really dig deep, if you really look, in all honesty, if we go back as far as, let's call it ever, we've got Sid Luckman, outstanding. We've got Jim McMahon, hurt because he wasn't protected, but outstanding. And then Jay Cutler. And if you look at it from a pure talent standpoint, we've never had anyone that talented. Never.
No, we've had
ever.
There have been a couple guys who've had a good season or two, maybe.
Right. But good seasons doesn't mean pure talent.
But as far as talent and ability, Jay Cutler was the best ever
without question.
Bears uniform. Period. So one quarterback. So Jay Cutler is back in the NFL.
Yep.
He's in a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, and a 1-year, $10 million deal is what I saw earlier. From that quarterback to another quarterback, I thought this was interesting. As the New England Patriots were starting up their training camp, Tom Brady was asked about the comments that his wife Gisele Bündchen made a few weeks ago, saying that Brady sustained a concussion last year during their playoff run and eventual Super Bowl win. And Brady was asked by the media, rightfully so, and his response was, I don't want to get into things that happened in my past, certainly medical history and so forth. I don't really think that's anybody's business. So you know what? What happened last year, I'm just focused on this year and improving and working on things I need to get better at. So that's how I approach everything.
And then give his wife a microphone.
Right. The answer that I expected from Tom Brady when he was going to be asked about this.
Right.
Clearly don't believe that Gisele Bündchen was lying. Tom Brady clearly had a concussion that the Patriots somehow were able to hide. He was able to perform through. No one knew about it. And when you're talking about the New England Patriots and hiding things and getting away with things, that certainly does not surprise me one bit. But it's funny because it actually is someone's business because the NFL is pretending to do a better job in monitoring concussions and subconcussive hits and head trauma. But it certainly is the NFL's business when they have injury reports that are supposed to be filled out truthfully and given to the league each week, which we know they are not.
Well, then in our mostly Matt, impassioned segment on CTE on episode 1. This is integral in that, right? Like, physical injuries are one thing. Head trauma is another thing. And I'm starting to not care so much about people hiding it because, in all honesty, do you realize how many players are hiding it? But they're just not as marquee as Tom Brady. They're just hiding it.
Obviously, the injury reports aren't always truthful and forthcoming.
Of course not, but it's
and fully
not
complete.
just the injury reports. It's, remember, the league sanction required non-team doctors to measure people's concussions when they come to the sidelines. If you think that a large percentage of those results are true, then you are sadly mistaken. I guarantee the amount of players coming back.
Players hide injuries, obviously. And,
of course.
Brian Urlacher talked about getting a concussion. He would go to the sidelines. Not saying that he did this. This is what he's saying he would do. He would fake a knee injury in order to.
So they didn't focus on. Yeah. Right. So they didn't focus on like Brian. Can you tell me what the date is? Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. These players aren't stupid. As much as you think they are, they aren't.
That's Tom Brady's answer to being asked about the concussion that his wife revealed that he had, and it says he don't want to talk about it. Didn't deny it, just that he didn't want to talk about it, and gave the the whole medical history thing as an answer to get away.
Do us a favor.
From the media with it.
Do us a favor. AFDEshow@gmail.com. I'm telling you guys, honestly, send us your thoughts. Like, we could make full shows about our opinions on this stuff, but you know what? We want to talk about other things. But we actually really appreciate your feedback.
So, Tom Brady, Michigan quarterback, you're wearing your Michigan football T-shirt right now, the Nike T-shirts that we have. And there was a story you wanted to touch on with Michigan fans as well.
Well, yes. So, Matt and I, if you don't know, Matt went to Moody Bible Institute for college, and I'm sorry that I laughed during it.
No, we've won several Big Ten championships. So.
Yeah, you won something, and I went to Southern Illinois University. So clearly, in this room of recording, we're not just riding the wave of amazing college football. Southern's been getting better, but still, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
good basketball program.
Yeah, well, true. Until the coach left and then went to U of I. Yeah, shit, it happened. Oh, and every time I get Italian, when I say get Italian, I move my hands.
Start flying?
I smack the damn mic stand, and I'm sorry. And you're welcome? Question mark. That's going to be the theme of the show. But anyway, so we were talking about together. We need to, I don't know, we're Bears fans and stuff, but I'm like, Maddie, we need to pick out a college team. We need to do it. And I was like, okay. And then we went back and forth, and we talked about college teams that made sense. And, we know who's good, we know who's bad, but we also know who we like. And then I said, finally, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to my Twitter page. I'm going to throw out like a poll and just say, here's what we're trying to accomplish. Who should we pick as our team? So I got like a ton of votes. Like, people were coming in with various things, and it ended up being number 2 was Notre Dame. Number 1, which Matt hates. So we would not go there.
If that ended up being 1 through 10, it would never happen.
But number 1 ended up being Michigan, and both of us again, I'm going to repeat this: Moody Bible Institute, Southern Illinois University. We both decided, I'm like, all right, man, let's go with Michigan. And both of us really like Harbaugh. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care who you root for. I really like Harbaugh. Michigan is the winningest football program in the history of anything. And there we go again. And I'm honestly, like, I've never disliked them. I've never had a reason to. I've always watched them. And in all honesty, if I could light Ohio State on fire in some capacity where no one died, but you know what I mean, just burn something down, I would do it.
You're really going to hurt our Ohio downloads.
Well, you know what? Yeah, exactly. Before the show, we were looking at our geographic downloads, and we had 100 in Ohio. Hey, if it goes to 0, fuck it.
No, I don't want that. We don't want to lose the Buckeye fans.
I will take one of you. So Matt and I are going full on Michigan. That's our team.
And that's going to be
our team.
I've never had a college team that will be my college team.
Yep.
For the foreseeable future.
Agreed.
One NFL note too that is pretty important. Some of the owners, and Jerry Jones is seems like the main voice behind this.
And a sweet haircut.
Pushing to, oh my God, his haircut at his Hall of Fame party. Just terrible.
Everyone,
Terrible haircut.
please
Absolute
Google.
bowl cut. Yeah.
Please Google Jerry Jones. It's not a
Haircut.
bowl. It's more like a like someone with a weed whacker showed up and just like got some
No,
parts.
they just placed a bowl over his head and
So
then
bad.
put trimmers around it, and then just left what was under the bowl uncut. It's just terrible. So they're pushing the possibility. There's conversations about making marijuana legal in the NFL. It's something that I personally believe should be made legal for everyone in the country. I don't view it as the same way as other drugs are viewed. At least my opinion. But there's a story about NFL players and the use of marijuana. Anywhere from 30 to 50% of players use marijuana for medicinal purposes, as far as dealing with pain. And they now, if you're not part of the NFL's drug program, if you're not in the drug program, you get tested once during training camp for drugs. Now, you don't know when it's coming up, but you know it's during training camp. So if you know it's coming, you stay off anything, including marijuana. The test comes maybe your first day in camp, maybe your last day in camp. But once you get tested and you know you're clean because you don't do drugs, once you're done being tested, players go back to smoking marijuana on a regular basis because they know they're not being tested anymore because they're not tested during the season if they're not in the drug program. So they get tested once during training camp. They know it's going to be clean. The test is over. That day, they start smoking weed again. And, maybe you have a soulmate, someone who's, smokes marijuana. And maybe they would want the NFL to, allow marijuana use. You never know. But that could be the case. But I agree with the whole premise that marijuana should be treated differently than other drugs. And I think NFL players, great. Sure. NBA players, absolutely. Regular citizens in America, absolutely.
I 100% agree, but it's not like, all right, we could have the national argument, the state argument, the college argument, the pro argument. Guys, it's fucking weed. Get over it. Move on. And I'm so tired of this gateway drug shit. You know what? Anything you do that alters your mind is a gateway. It's what you do with it. You know what? Most of these guys just want to puff a joint and move the fuck on. Like they're not trying to get to something else. Like, what stories do you hear about guys who's like, oh my God, this athlete that we were so excited about smoked some weed and then ended up on meth and heroin combined, and then he just sold it to everyone else. It doesn't work that way.
No, and particularly when in the medical world, people
It's
are
medicinal,
prescribed
for Christ's
marijuana
sakes.
for dealing with pain and whatnot. And NFL players, I mean, you're talking about simulating 4, 5, 10, 12 car accidents every game.
What did we talk
You're gonna
about
deal with
last
pain.
week?
Right, talk about
What
pain.
did we talk
And
about
if
last week?
Players want to use marijuana to deal with some of the pain they suffer through during an NFL
God.
season. It should be allowed, and we'll see what the NFL does with this. And I'm pretty sure Jerry Jones is pushing this because he
I
has a
think
lot
his
of
haircut might be,
players that
maybe
get in
he's
trouble
hoping
with
that
weed,
his
so.
bad haircut distracts people and then like vote on weed. My God, it's terrible.
All right, one final just comment on the world of sports. Cubs catcher Wilson Contreras, as of this point right now during today's game with the Nationals, has hit 2 home runs. The Cubs lead 4-1. Also, Kyle Schwarber home run. But Wilson Contreras is leading right now Major League Baseball in home runs hit since the All-Star break. The dude is absolutely on fire, and I can proudly say before the season started, I declared that he would be a superstar, and it seems like he's well on his way to doing that. One other great story outside the world of sports that I absolutely love that you sent me this is called the Tata Towel. If you don't know what the Tata Towel is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a towel that wraps around a woman's the back of her neck and then drapes over and holds her breasts in place.
The girls.
And covers them with a towel. And so it looks like, just a slender piece of cloth of towel.
Looks like a normal
Right.
towel.
You put it
It's
over your neck, but it's
more
cupped.
shapely.
It's
Yeah,
shapely.
yeah.
It's cupped to hold breasts, and it can accommodate women from C cups all the way to H cups, which I imagine are pretty large. And it would have to be a pretty heavy duty towel. But if you've seen a woman getting dressed ever in your life, getting ready with a towel around, and the towel falls off, and they're doing makeup or whatever it might be, this is a genius idea. Something I wish I would have created.
Well, this is what on that list of God, I wish I would have created this.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
so funny if like you and I were just hanging out and you're like,
Hey, Jason, I have this idea I want to run past you. I want to make
buddy.
a towel that holds a woman's breasts in place while they're getting ready.
Hey, buddy,
After
I'm a
a
big
shower.
fan of boobs, and I know. Hold on, Trish, come here. Why can't you? What? Just can I get a kiss from my wife during the show, please? Thank you. I love you. All right. So no, what I'm talking about is we always talk about things, but we're guys, right? So we're not thinking about boob problems. We're not thinking about girl problems until you like get into a relationship like Matt and I have, where you experience their getting ready process. With the hair dryer and everything, the whole room is freaking hot, right? It's a hot ass room. I don't think about boob sweat. I really don't. I wouldn't. It's not my problem, thank God. Probably will be eventually. You know, old guy. I'm gonna have like moob sweat. It is what it is. But no. So I read this article. I'm like, this is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. Like,
$45 holds all sorts of boobs. Like I said, C cup to H
Right.
cup. So man, the pictures in this article are just fantastic.
right,
You can just Google ta ta ta.
All right, hold on. So, yeah, all right. Okay, so we are actually, the funny thing is Matt and I have, and more me just because I'm like obsessive with like learning how to put this podcast out. Like, how can we share links? I'm going to figure out a way to share the link on our website or on our Facebook page, and I'll do it on the Twitter too. The Twitter. It's one of the funniest articles I've read in a long time. It's literally like the ta-ta towel. And then, like, you know, as a guy, you read it, but the girls have read it who are like, this is the greatest thing. I have gotten such amazing response from my female friends, our female fans, about how great conceptually this thing is.
All right, so you can Google it. We'll try to get the link up there for you somewhere, somehow. Maybe you can throw it on Twitter.
Well, just Google
And
ta-ta
then,
towel.
yeah, Google ta ta
Ta-ta-towel.
towel, and then if you got an extra $45 for the woman in your life that you love dearly, you can buy her the ta ta towel for Christmas and throw it in her stocking, or wrap it and throw it under the Christmas tree.
We'll put out
and
a
give it to
poll
her.
asking
So,
if you want to see Matt and I wearing a ta-ta towel.
Probably not
Well, probably
gonna
we need to
happen.
get like a normal size one for our junk, and we'll just wear it low.
Probably
Just
not
wear it
gonna-
low.
not gonna
Okay.
happen, but
Well,
it's
vote.
the ta ta towel, just
Send it
like
in.
it spells. Just like it sounds, TATA towel. Take a look at it. All
I
right,
think the junk towel is going to be called the Jaja towel.
the junk towel.
Well, yeah, I went junk and then
Well,
went
that's just a
Jaja.
regular towel, though. Or actually, you don't even need a towel.
No, you more need like
You would
a.
just-
It's
no,
like an
just let it
athletic
go.
supporter, but you know, in
You don't even
terry
need that, though.
terry cloth.
I went to school with a guy named Terry Cloth. All right, one of our buddies, Dave Mulder. We talked about this briefly in episode 1. I said I wanted you to share this Dave Mulder story from what is that awful place where they have concerts?
Alpine Valley.
Where it's basically hell, but you love, and you have some great memories of one particular concert.
Okay, here's the story. We go to this concert, and like we were talking about in episode 1, at 9 a.m. the gates open. We're doing our tailgating, so I'd be like, Dave, get out your guitar. So he would start playing guitar. We were all in good shape. We'd take off our shirts. I'd start singing, and like people would come around. And when that happened, Dave got like really, really like, man, I'm so glad we have all these people around. I didn't realize that he traveled with any kind of dynamite, let alone like the divisions of sticks. So he's like, this party's so good. And he just lights a quarter stick of dynamite and just throws it. And it blows, as you can imagine, blows out like a massive divot, like where we are. The guy in the little golf cart who drove around the whole day. I mean, this is at like 2 p.m. He's like, hey, is it you guys who are blowing off fireworks? We're all like, no. And there's like this.
You, no shirt and a guitar.
Yeah, but
Blowing
no,
off
no,
fireworks.
me no shirt singing, Dave no shirt guitar, but this massive divot, like the only place in the entire parking lot that
You're
had this.
standing in it singing.
And he's like, are you sure? I said, hey, I didn't know, but I wasn't lying to him. I didn't do it. And Dave walks up and goes, I did, and just pours a beer over his head. My face turned into oh shit, he totally did it. I'm really not sure what to do about this other than this guy's gonna like arrest us.
Well,
like,
no, when
this
you
is
told me
end
the
up being
story, I thought, all right,
really
so
bad.
it ends with you guys in jail because or at least Dave in jail because he dumped a beer over
No.
a security guard's head, and so as the story continues on, I'm
No jail.
flabbergasted at this
Dude,
point.
no jail.
Just shocked.
Well,
Ends with
hold on.
that guy in jail.
Not just dumped a beer on him post explosion.
Right. After blowing up some of the property.
But it's not like
Right.
he lit off like a,
Right.
we're talking
So-
about a quarter stick of dynamite
It's not blowing up the ground.
removed earth.
Yeah, right. It's not blowing up the ground or dumping a beer in a security guard's head. It's blowing up the ground and then dumping beer on a security guard's
and
head.
then with the laugh.
So
with
I'm
the-
like,
with-
all right, so this guy's in jail.
and I just gave him that look like, well, I was hoping that you weren't going to send us to jail, and the guy who lit the explosive just walked up and poured beer and laughed at you. And I'm like, this can go one of two ways. But I didn't say it. Like, you just give someone that look. This can go one of two ways. This is going one of two ways. And the guy's like, shit. And he said this out loud. And his name was Steve. He goes, I don't really even know what to do with this, but I'm going to tell you guys. If you just cut the shit, I'm going to move on. I'm like, okay, buddy. And he goes, all right, cool. Guy patted me on the shoulder, got in his golf cart, and left.
I honestly don't understand why he wouldn't have done something. I would have thrown his ass out,
But
if not had him arrested. But would have definitely been.
I like
"You're
to
going."
think that, do you remember like when you go to concerts or you go anywhere, any situation where like you do something stupid? We all do something stupid, but you do something stupid and you're like an asshole about it. You're literally like, yeah, I did something stupid. And you know what? Fuck you, man. Like I literally gave the guy like a dude.
I know, but I think
I don't even know what to do with this.
But I think the whole point of it is though that something stupid happened, and then he was an asshole about it by pouring the beer on the guy.
Right.
That was step
Right.
number 2. That
What
was
I'm
like,
saying
all right.
is this-
now you handled it obviously
this
differently.
guy
and-
was
and-
amazing.
Yeah, and you
Bottom
massaged
line,
the situation enough.
I've
Right.
diffused
Right, you
several
massaged the situation,
situations.
and you massaged Steve a little bit, and he was able to just get in his golf cart, drive away. Where
drove away.
I would have been like, all right, dude, you're at minimum, you're out.
right.
You've got to leave.
So at this point, night's not over.
Jesus.
So after this all happens, and this is literally before we've gone in and seen a band. This is still tailgating.
What concert was this?
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy
That's right, you
Buffett,
said
yeah.
that, yeah.
So we're there, and this guy walks up. He goes, you know what, fuckers? I don't care that you didn't get in trouble, but I think you guys are assholes. And I'm like,
Oh, boy.
But he said it to me, and I'm like, I'm still in the diffusing mode, and I just said, okay.
Okay,
you're
you're not wrong, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, you're right, and what?
You are correct, sir.
But what I said afterwards was, and like, what?
Okay.
Do you want to punch me in the face? Like, I'm not even responsible, but what's your point? The guy's like, I don't care. You guys are just, hey, man, fuck. You know, it's a podcast. The guy's like, you guys are fucking dicks. Fuck you guys. Walked away. So Dave is standing to my right, the guy who, is kind of done all these things. And he's like, you know what? Fuck that guy. Where did he get him later? And in my mind, I'm like, I don't really know what.
Let's take a bad situation and make it worse.
No, but I'm like, what does that mean?
Right.
Like, we're not going to, like, kill the guy. But in my head, I'm like, I don't know what that means.
We're going to bury him, and we're going to kill him and bury him. Here
So
at Alpine
anyway,
Valley.
this guy came back again. He didn't say anything, but these morons who, like, point? You ever had that situation where, like, you do something, it's not, like, that bad, and someone will, like, roll up and just give you the point?
Yeah.
So this guy went into a porta potty in our area, and we walked up.
Boy.
Yeah, we walked up, and I'm like, hey, you still angry about this? And the guy's like, yeah. And we knocked his porta potty over and, like, down a hill. Like, he had shit all over, and he, like, rolls down a hill.
It's just awful.
Yeah, I know. But, hey,
Definitely not a porta party.
hey, buddy, clearly don't fuck with us. But, like, I didn't care about the first part. I was apologizing about the first part. And then this guy ended up being an asshole. It was like coming in and, like, poking a bear. So the story's still not over.
Oh, boy.
So, like, in the first podcast, you guys heard that my parents had a place in Lake Geneva. And one of us would always, like, stay sober and drive us back. And so Dave and I are sitting in the back seat.
Not sober.
No. So anyway, we're like driving back, and Dave goes, you know what my car needs? I'm like, already I'm nervous. Well, and I said, internal or external?
Oh, boy.
Because I'm just thinking like, oh, God, where is this going? He goes, external. Opens the door, leans out, and pulls his, do you remember Degree? I think it's still a thing.
No,
the
Degree.
Degree, but the white stick.
White sticks, yeah.
Takes it out, and he leans out, and he just puts it on his tire. He's like, we got white walls. Ha, ha, ha.
So the car's moving.
Oh, yeah.
Opens the door.
But not just moving.
Leans
like,
out.
We're doing like 45, 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
He's...
And he's white-walling his own tires with a stick of
white-walling his own
deodorant.
tires,
Okay.
and I'm holding... He's wearing only boxers,
Oh,
so
boy.
I'm holding like the waistband to make sure that my friend doesn't fall out of the car.
Right, and kill himself.
Just all right.
my
So
God.
in one day, and it's one of the greatest and most hilarious things I've ever seen, and that's why Matt said, "My God, you need to talk about this."
Well, the thing is, though, when you told me the story, I didn't know the porta potty part, and definitely didn't know the white wall tire part with deodorant.
That's why I told you there were 4 parts
Oh.
to this ridiculousness.
Unbelievable. I mean, just lucky number 1 to not be thrown out. Lucky number 2 to not be in jail. Lucky number 3 just to not die. Anywho, I'm sure you guys have stories like that, friends like that, where you can sit back and, 10, 15, 20 years later tell those types of stories. And, man, that's a real treat, and makes me...
You're welcome?
Yeah, you're welcome, question mark. Just, not want to drink at a concert with Mulder, but hey.
That's going to be our new hashtag, by the way, right? I feel like anything we post should be hashtag you're welcome.
Question.
And I know for those of you who, we've got a lot of people who I'm quite sure need to do some research on the your. Just learn the your.
Well, no, I would encourage you to learn the your, and also the there, and there would be if you start with those 6 words and understanding the uses for all 6 of those
and
words.
together we'll clap out syllables for other shit.
Yeah,
Man, it'll be cool.
It'd be perfect. All right, so that's episode number 2 of Batacola and Ferrari discuss everything. You can follow us on Twitter at AFDE Show. You can get on Facebook at facebook.com/AFDE Show, and also email us at afdeshow@gmail.com. We are brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue. Follow them on Twitter at Mickey Finn's. You can get on Facebook, facebook.com/Mickey Finn's Brewery. Great food, great staff, fantastic beer. If you do check it out, make sure you check out the Pineapple Express, their double IPA. And the holidays are actually right around the corner. Santa's Magic comes out the day after Thanksgiving. I will be there that day getting a couple growlers. You can plan on that as well. And
we're hoping for a live broadcast when that happens. That should happen.
Oh no, we're definitely going to do a live show. We'll record a show
when it's
at
released.
Mickey Finn's.
When that's released, we're doing a show.
We'll record a show there, and then you can come on out and join us. We'll let you know all the details on that. Again, email afdeshow@gmail.com. Thanks for listening to episode number 2. It'll be available for you. It doesn't matter. You're listening to it
tomorrow
right now.
morning. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
We're recording it, but yes,
it's
tomorrow
recording
morning,
now,
if
and
we're
then,
being honest.
Our goal is to get a show out for you every Monday, so you have something to enjoy during your week of terrible work because you hate your jobs. He's a Ferrari. I'm a Batacola. It's AFDE Podcast. Thanks for listening.